Why should I believe that account as opposed to maybe like the book of the Latter-day Saints or the Quran?
Excellent question.
Welcome everybody to today's video. In this video, a young skeptic is trying to ask a very important question, which is, why should I believe the Bible as opposed to believing the Quran, as opposed to believing Buddhas, as opposed to believing the Mormons or whatever other people, because they all claim to be faith, they all claim to be correct. So what makes the Bible different? What makes the Bible special? What makes the Bible above all these other religions that I just mentioned? And Frank expertly tackles it as he usually does. Let's get into this video.
Sir, what's your name?
My name's Matt.
Hey, Matt.
Hello, nice to meet you.
You too. Matthew, by the way, means gift from God. You know that?
You're welcome. So, my question is, you are of the conclusion that the statements of the Christian Bible is the true account of why we're here.
Sure.
Why should I believe that account as opposed to maybe like the book of the Latter-day Saints or the Quran?
Excellent question. That's a great question, because there's evidence that the New Testament accounts were written early by eyewitnesses, which contain embarrassing testimony they wouldn't have made up, which they died for, which also has extra biblical testimony from outside sources, which has Old Testament prophecy behind it, which has elaborate testimony that you couldn't explain unless they were eyewitnesses. In fact, your own Tim McGrew talks about that. It's called undesigned coincidences. There's archaeological evidence which backs it all up. Whereas if you look at the Quran, let's just take a look at the Quran. The Quran was written after Muhammad died. He died in 632 AD. It was standardized by the third Muslim caliph Uthman in 650 AD. And the Quran does not contain any miracles done by Muhammad. All the miracles attributed to Muhammad were attributed to him about 150 years or so later in the Hadith, the written traditions and sayings of what Muhammad said and did. So there are no eyewitness miracles of Muhammad. In fact, Muhammad denied doing miracles. Now, in the Quran, it says Jesus never died or rose from the dead. A substitute was put in its place. That's Surah 4, verse 157. This book is written over 600 years after the events. But you go back to the New Testament, and you've got 8 or 9 sources, depending upon who wrote the book of Hebrews, which has all of this evidence in it, which has been verified to be eyewitness testimony, and there's archaeological evidence behind it, that indicates that Jesus really did die and rise from the dead. Well, he certainly died. We know that. Even the great skeptic Bart Ehrman admits he died. There's no ancient historian who says that what the Quran says is true regarding Jesus. Even atheists admit Jesus died on the cross in 30 or 33 AD. So if you're going to look to a book to tell you what happened to Jesus, or you're going to look at a book that came 600 years after the events, or you're going to look at a collection of eyewitness documents written by contemporaries who were there, I'm going to go with the people who were there. Now, when you get to the Latter-day Saints, that's obviously even much further ahead. That's in the 1840s. And they're adding books to the Bible and saying that the Bible hasn't been translated right, or that it hasn't been copied right, or whatever. And the Mormon view, doesn't mean every Mormon believes this, but Mormons are polytheists. As man is, God once was. So they're adding a whole nother realm to the Christian worldview and actually going from theism to polytheism. And if you look for archaeological evidence for the Jews here in North America, or anything the Book of Mormon talks about, you will not find it. So that's why. And our book goes into great detail, by the way, Matthew. Here's a follow-up. Go ahead. You follow up, yeah.
Well, I was just going to ask if you believe there are any prophets that would have come after John then, I believe, or if it just kind of stopped.
I think the canon is closed since Revelation. I don't think there's more apostles that are getting new revelation now. I think that we have enough revelation there that keeps us busy, and we know enough about, what life's about, and when, and that Jesus is one day going to come back. We don't really need any more new revelation. I can't live up to what's already given. So.
All right, thank you.
Now, this is a very powerful video, very, very nice video. Frank really dealt with a lot of things, and I love how he dealt with it. First of all, he spoke about the fact that among all the religions of the world, so to say, Christianity has almost the clearest one that you can test and go back historically. And one of the things I bulk out a lot is that we are only using historical things. Today, the Christianity that I practice is not a historical one. It's not a book one. It's not like, oh, I just read a book or Jesus. No, today, we practice that thing that he went to the cross to do is actually happening today. Sick are being healed every day by the name of Jesus. Things are happening all over the world by the name of Jesus. Every single day. So the same thing that was happening in the time of the apostles are still happening. All you just have to apply is the name of Jesus, and it's still happening today. Now, if we're to go strictly towards the historical aspect of this, we say that Christianity has ample, when I say ample, I mean ample evidence to support itself. The life of the apostles, the writings of the apostles, how it grew and came. Is one thing, some people like to compare Islam and Christianity in the sense that Islam also grew. But you see, Christianity didn't grow like Islam. Islam grew by the sword. They forced themselves on people. Christianity didn't believe in that. In fact, Jesus let everybody know that it's love that is the way we know his apostle. So Christianity has actually gone through the world and built it by love. Many of the so-called places where they claim colonialism, claim many things that Christianity brought there, those places finally had schools. Those places finally had many things that they will probably not have if Christianity has not come. And the real people that were following Christianity, when they came, they did not necessarily bring just their doctrine, because you see, in everything there's always going to be division or whatever. But they also brought their own wisdom. So the evidence, one of the things that we need to know is that all cannot be true. If two religions or two sayings are going opposite each other, what that means is one has to be right and one has to be wrong. And in the case of Christianity, we see that Christianity is the one that is right and these other religions are wrong. Also, you can try it. Apart from going for the historical evidence of Christianity, go for the literal evidence of Christianity today. Haven't you wondered why many people that give their life to Christ, when the person wants to change, it's not just you going to Buddhist or something. When he gives their life to Christ, they found number one is peace. Peace. Because there's only one person that can give you true peace. True peace. Another thing we see that makes Christianity what it is that the founder actually conquered what he told his people. So it's one thing to say, if you die, you have whatever, you have this, you have that. It's only in Christianity that the founder died, rose again. He didn't rise as a spirit. No, he came to people so that they can touch him and they can feel him. He said, put your hand in my hand, put your hand in the holes, so that you will know that it's the same body that rose again. It is that hope that each and every one of us as Christians, that we know that when we die, we will rise again. Because why? He rose again. If you like this video, please do me a favor. Just give it a thumbs up. Subscribe, comment, share this video. Word of mouth helps this channel to grow a lot. And see you in the next one. God bless you. Shalom.